Might and Magic 10. Well, it's been 12 years of waiting. Well, more like 14 due to the fact that Might and Magic 9, which came out 2002, was not what people expected it to be. So let's consider last Might and Magic game as Might and Magic RPG game, Might and Magic 8, which came out in 2000. There is a quite difference right now between the new Might and Magic 10 and Might and Magic 8, even 9. Now let me just show you on which specs I run this, or on which settings I run this, so you can see that most of this is on high. And I'm running this on GeForce GT 540M and i3 2003 10M again. So I'm running this on laptop and everything is running very smoothly. Let me just show you right now the game. Now the first question is it worth it? Those 25 euros on Steam or on Ubisoft? I think it's Uplay. I'd say so. I'd say that yes, it is. Let me just show you what the game is actually about. It's a tile-based, turn-based RPG. I think it's CRPG actually. As you can see, you have your group of 4 adventurers. You can create your own group or go with preset. There is, I think, 12 classes right now. There are 12 classes right now, 4 races, and each race has different classes. So this is how you move. The game seems a little bit weird, a little bit outdated. It's true. The graphics are a little bit outdated, but they are functional and the aesthetic is quite fine. It's more like they used a lot of Oblivion stuff, if you remember that. Now, each time you want to enter a building, you press space and a typical Might and Magic screen pops up. You have animated screen where you have people whom you want to talk. There is always gossip, services, training experts, and so on. I think overall it's appealing. Animations are good. The movement, as you can see, is pretty smooth considering that it's style based. And I've been playing this in early beta when I think it was 2 days after the early access came out, and they improved time management immensely. Every time you move on a tile, time goes on. And it used to be 15 minutes outside of the town, 5 minutes inside of town, and 10 minutes in dungeons. Now it's 1 minute inside of town, 2 minutes in dungeons, and 5 minutes outside. That's amazing right now because you just don't spend a lot of time resting and waiting for new day and so on. Now, as you can see, UI is, I think, great. I really like it. It used all the Might and Magics in those previous games tended to use a lot of space in their UIs. Now it's not. Now they are not. It's perfect. It's clear. It's okay. It's understandable. That is the most. Here you have gold. Here you have your food and button for rest, which is R. Now there is an inventory, which you can see, and there is one thing about inventory which I don't like, and those are actually these pictures. In previous Might and Magics, well, let's say previous, 6, 7, 8, and I'm not sure even if before, your characters were changing. Each time you equipped a new weapon, not in a way that you have it here in a tile, but they were actually holding a new weapon. This is somewhat, well, inadequate, I would say, or underestimated probably. The inventory is shared for all the characters, and you have your attributes here, your statistics and resistances. Each time you level up, you add some points to, I think 5 or 4 points, 5 points to these attributes, which are Spirit, Vitality, Destiny, Perception, Magic, Might, and they do different things. Might is obviously about increasing melee damage, Destiny is about critical value, critical hit, chances and values. Perception is about ranged damage. Spirit is about how much mana you have. Vitality is about how much health you have. And you also have 3 skill points, which are under a spellbook, and you add your skills in here. Every time you get to, I think it's 7 or 6, you can level up to an expert tier. You need to find a person who is training to an expert, and afterwards you can get more points and get to master, and then get to grandmaster. Each time it unlocks you new spells, new abilities. I think it's a good style. It's like it's simplified Might and Magic style that it used to be. You have a spellbook here, a lot of spells I have to say. I will show you on my free mage. There is a lot of spells. Right now I'm using about 4, and they are quite okay. Now, about sound assets. You might have heard already the music, and I think that the music is great. The music is amazing for me personally, and it is really appealing. And the whole sound assets, they are great, and they are even made for fans, because there are some assets that were used from previous games. For example, if you level up, there's a sound which used to be entering a turn-based combat. There is a rest, which is the same. There are some sounds which are from the previous games, and there is a good voice acting too. I really recommend getting cynical voices, because they are, well, they are more fun, aren't they? Well, as you could have seen, the UI was okay. Now we're in the loading screen for outside of the town. Sometimes it takes a little while, but I never experienced that it took more than 30 seconds. So, what's next? I wanted to show you combat. No. About the movement. Movement is okay. And right now it's morning. And it should be a day right now. In a few seconds, minutes. In 10 probably? Yes. Right now it's day. So it was morning, right now it's day. There is a day-night cycle. And I'm going to show you combat. As you can see, movement is quite okay, considering that it's style-based. It's great. It's smooth, reactive. Okay. So about the combat. There is one behind me. As you can see, you have your skills in here, and I'm gonna use Shadow Cloak, burn this. Use this skill and this skill. You can bind those skills any way you want. It's really functional, I have to say. As you can see, animations are amazing. This game is not a AAA title. It sounds like what could be considered a AA. It's not an indie game. Ubisoft was actually financing this. Now they're gonna move to me, and I'm gonna sunder them again. Heal my whole party. And let's try this. And let's just kill them. Overall, this game is great, amazingly performing, considering that I have somewhat a high low-end PC. This is running very smoothly, and it looks okay. It's not the greatest thing you ever saw, but it looks okay. And as you can see, combat is appealing. You have that sense of danger in that, and you have that RNG elements in it too. I think it's based on Dungeons and Dragons things, and you actually feel some kind of bond with your company, with your raiders, with your adventurers, and you don't want to lose them. That's as simple as that. You feel the bond very quickly, and you create that bond very quickly. And I think this game is worth it. You might see that the whole map is created very well, And this is like those old games you might have seen. Just it used to be that you had to sometimes create this map on your own, but now no, you don't have to. It's writing out automatically, and you have those little things that you can see: entrance to dangerous caves. Here is something again. Enter to itinerant merchant. Let's see what he's gonna do, what he can offer. Well, oh, training fire magic expert and trade. I think that's great. Let's see. So overall, the game is good, and I think that for those 25 euros, considering that the usual price of a AAA title is 50 euros up to 60 euros sometimes, this is worth it. It should have about, I think, more than 20 hours of gameplay, and it has very high replayability. And it's a good game, actually. It's actually a really good game. So I hope you enjoy this, and it was helpful to you. And have a nice day, and enjoy your Might and Magic if you're gonna get it.